Hey there, everybody, and welcome to the Top 10 Countdown for Rock Solid's funniest moments in 2020. I'm Aaron Kahn, and I'll be taking you through what I consider to be the most hilarious moments from this year of 2020. So here we are, at the end of another year. From the craziness of the pandemic to the stress of the election, 2020 was a crazy year, to say the least. Still, some good things happened this year. For Rock Solid, Pat offered listeners even more episodes than before during the pandemic and lockdown. From Monday bonus episodes to the Zoom Room interviews, we've been provided with a lot of content. Pat has also been able to put together regular episodes with the co-hosts. Along with Rock Solid's increased output, several listeners have started playing Name That Tune, aka La Game, on Zoom starting in April of this year. So once again, here I am making a top 10 list of the funniest moments, this time from 2020. While I'm the one who decided on this list, I did take into account the callbacks made on the show and if any moments were highlighted on social media. So with that being said, let's get into this countdown. Now, while I said that this is a top 10 countdown, I'm going to include an extra clip here, so you can think of this as the number 11 clip. For the first clip I'm going to play, this is a moment from the King's Arthur track-by-track episode, an episode in which Pat was joined by Mario DeBarrio. Now, this was recorded in November 2019, but it dropped in late December 2019. Now, had this dropped earlier in 2019, it would have been on last year's list for sure. So I decided to make this an honorable mention of sorts. After playing a song from the album, Pat asks Mario if he's seen a certain movie in theaters recently. Mario's reaction makes for this number 11 clip.
Did you see that new Terminator movie yet?
What about a song about World War II?
Just made me think of it. Made me think that if you had time travel, you could go back and stop. You could stop atrocities. You could stop bad things from happening.
Oh my God. Oh, I'm sorry.
It could rival the longest sustained laugh that we've had on the show.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I haven't.
All right. Why didn't they call that thing T3 and then what was it? What's it called? Dark Fate? Is that what it's called? I haven't seen it yet.
I just need to know if we're talking about the Kinks anymore or not. So
We are.
Okay.
We are. Time travel. I would go back and give them their visa so they could tour the states.
Oh, is that what? Yeah. See, that's what you would change.
That's what I would change.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would change.
This is such a funny moment, just because of the randomness of Pat's question, and also because of Mario's genuine laughter. To go from talking about the Kinks to the new Terminator movie, this one is too funny to forget. So I had to give it an honorable mention here at least. So it's at number 11. Alright, now at number 10 is a clip from the Ozzy Osbourne Ordinary Man track-by-track episode. Dropped earlier in 2020, Pat and guest co-host Mike Schmidt crammed 3 different subjects into one episode. Those 3 topics being the new Ozzy Osbourne album, the Ryan James Dio tribute concert, and the Eddie Money tribute show. In this clip, Pat and Mike talk about meeting former Skid Row frontman Sebastian Bach, their encounter with Mr. Bach, along with Pat's reply to a question, make for this funny moment.
And then you and I decided that we
Well, you said we got to get out of here. I'm like, all right, let's go.
I looked at I'm like, oh, we got to get over to
I said, well, that's
to the
fine.
Eddie Money thing.
And then you said, do we go talk to Sebastian Bach? I'm like, of course we do. Why do we not?
Because I said I have an in because one of Pilar's really great friends, Kristen Kelly, she was in Rocky Horror Picture Show with Joan Jett and Sebastian Bach on Broadway.
Yeah.
So I think he was Riff Raff. I think that's who
Sebastian was?
played. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Which is great.
So I'm like, so I kind of have that in. So we go over to him.
And well, you approach from his left. I approach from his right.
Right. We flank him.
Yeah, I go, because I did a loop. I went around.
Then I got down on my knees behind him and you pushed him over,
down.
he toppled. And then we were all on the floor and we chatted on the floor. But yeah, so I just said, so I talked to him first.
He's got to be 6'6".
He's really tall.
Yeah.
And I said, hey, you know, I can't be in the room with you and not come over and say and meet you. And he's like, oh, thanks so much. And I was like, what did I forget? Oh, then I said, hey, a really good friend of mine, pretended like it was my friend, not my wife's. Cut out the middle person. I said, real good friend of mine, Kristen Kelly, was in Rocky Horror Picture Show with you. He's like, oh man, that's like 20 years ago. And she did tell me this story. So I asked him, I go, he's like, oh yeah, that's amazing. And I said, hey, she told me that if you had a good show that night, you would say that the show was Bach-tastic. I said, is that something you would say? He goes, I don't think so. I go,
No, he said, not a chance.
not a chance. That's
Not a
what he said, not a
chance.
chance. And I said, not even 20 years ago? And he was like, yeah. Then I still have the programs under my arm.
Yep.
And he says, what do you got there? Some albums? Like,
He thought you were going to ask him to sign.
yeah. And he was obviously
He would have.
up for it.
Sure.
And so he
You idiot.
He says,
What an idiot.
He says, what do you got on your arm? Those albums? And I say, nah, I'm not that guy.
Yeah. And I didn't hear it at first. And you told me after the fact, and I go, you gotta be fucking kidding me. With a straight face, you got that out.
Yep.
I can't believe you didn't just
I'm not
fucking
that
laugh all
guy.
over. I'm not that guy. Pfft.
Of course, Pat is that guy. Pat has a whole room filled with signed records. Now, should Sebastian Bach be a future guest on Rock Solid, this should be mentioned. Coming in at number 9 is from the Artists Never Played episode, a show that I played a part in. I picked songs by artists that had never been played before on Rock Solid. Similar to the Muppet episode last year, I recorded my commentary while Pat and Kyle chimed in from time to time. After my choice of Bert and Ernie's song, I Dance Myself to Sleep, Pat and Kyle talk about what Ernie would be like as a roommate.
I like that Ernie is just an asshole. Like,
He's a fucking dick. You wouldn't live with him. He's your worst college roommate. Like, you're down at housing the next day saying, I can't live with that guy for a whole semester.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but you have to live with him for a whole semester. We can get you another roommate next
look,
semester.
my head's this way and his head's this way.
Yeah, I mean,
we're totally opposite.
We are not compatible at all in the 69
My-
position. Almost midnight. All right. Keep going.
Everyone's like, this is the worst episode because
going.
those idiots keep interrupting songs. All right, here we go.
We don't have anything to do if we don't.
Something funny happens whenever the Muppets are discussed on Rock Solid. Pat and Kyle's humor becomes increasingly more explicit, and hearing them both lose it at the same time is just priceless. The number 8 clip on the countdown comes from the Kiss Dynasty and Unmasked track-by-track episode, in which Pat was joined by Kyle and Courtney Cronin via Zoom. After talking about the Kiss track Charisma, Kyle mentions about a recent comment left on a certain YouTube video. The comment itself, and what follows afterwards, makes for this funny moment.
Well, I loved it from the jump, and it sounds like Courtney's come around to it, and Kyle just thinks it's fine, and that's okay. It can be like that.
I mean, that YouTube comment said I was the most negative person ever, so
Do I
I
need?
have to
Someone
give
said that?
some props. Yeah, who cares?
Someone told Pat to not have me back on the show anymore.
Yeah, people say things.
They're like, enough with the court crow. And
I-
then he deleted his account. And I was like, Dad. No. And then, yeah, he deleted
you
it.
can't,
I was all
you know.
excited. I had a troll.
Here, I want to read this if I can find. Okay, yeah, this is. So one of the videos on our YouTube page was created by a listener, Aaron Kahn, and Aaron put together what he thought were our funniest moments from 2018. And then this guy Ken
This like every year. He's done this a couple.
does it every year.
So nice.
It really is nice. Thank you very much, Aaron. So this guy, Ken Downing, fuck you, Ken. He says, Kyle is the most negative person I have ever heard. That negative, then he says, that negative
That's on my
tone.
LinkedIn now. Most negative person
And I just
Ken
love,
Downing's ever heard.
he sounds like he's a woman who's got the vapors, because then the next sentence is, that negative tone. Then he says, Pat has the worst laugh. Sounds like Pink Floyd's Pig. For a liberal guy, he sure makes fun of people's appearances.
Wow.
Whatever, Ken.
Ask him to be on
Oh,
the show. And then
Also, I don't know if it's the same Ken Downing, but if you Google Ken Downing, he's the senior vice president and fashion director of Neiman Marcus.
Oh, that guy looks like shit.
Which,
It's got to be him.
It's got to be him.
also, why is your clothing company named after a kid that would get beaten up in high school? Neiman Marcus? Beat the shit out of that kid.
Hey, Neiman, after lunch, we're going to pound the shit out of you.
Okay.
You fucking pussy.
You guys, leave Neiman alone.
Oh, here comes your sister.
Okay, so I had something to do with this one. Yeah, that countdown that Pat was referring to was the first time I had ever created a collage or reel of Rock Solid clips. It's funny how someone commented on it nearly 2 years later, and Pat and Kyle just proceeded to rip on this guy. I love it. All right, the next clip comes from the More Cowbell episode, where Pat was joined by David Ace Gutierrez and Keith Garbedian. As David prepares to play a song by Hanson, Keith makes a comment about it. That comment and the reaction to it make for the number 7 clip on the list.
Anyway, so this is Hanson, and this is a great song. Kick it off from the beginning if you want, Pat, because that's where.
Of course.
Yeah. It's called "Thinking About Something."
Oh, it's a great song. I almost picked this song, and I was like, this isn't going to
It's from the
fly.
Shout It Out album, 2010.
Yeah.
Easy, you sissies.
I'm sorry. Weird Al directed this video. It's a great video, too. Gets me in the mood. Not in a weird, like, in a great mood. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Get in a mood for sex.
Yeah, that's it. No, it's such a
Let me
good
get.
song.
You're a Zachary fan.
This is your
Yeah,
go-to.
that's
This is your go-to.
I have a
sex.
whole journal. I just draw them, like middle school drawings.
This is your go-to sex song.
Yep, this is it.
It's just.
It's that
and
cowbell.
Bob.
You got to keep him really. Go, Rose.
Mine's Going Down. That's my go-to song. The Springsteen song from Born in the USA.
Oh God. Okay. So
From Porn in the USA. Okay, here we
that's
go.
what that red handkerchief means.
Okay.
So it's
Yeah, that's from the movie Cruising, right? If you have the red handkerchief in the back pocket,
means you're a
then
Bruce
means-
Springsteen
Yeah,
fan.
that's right.
it's from the album "Shout It Out."
Right.
And this is Hanson, "Thinking About Something."
This got out of control. It's amazing what one comment can do on Rock Solid. Speaking of which, this next clip is somewhat similar. Taken from the 45s episode, in which Pat was given several 45s by a listener, Pilar joined the episode for a while. After playing the Cliff Richard hit, Devil Woman, this exchange happens.
This was also one of the first that you bought.
Yes.
So how old were you?
1976.
1976.
I was 12 years old. Yeah.
12, and you're like, I want a devil woman.
I like the devil woman.
I want her to get me from behind.
No.
No?
That's what, no, the devil woman doesn't take me from behind when I'm 12. What are you talking
But you know
about?
you're 12, so that's what you want when you're 12. You're not going to get it. You're not going to even get it,
No,
for,
you just said the
for like 10 years.
The devil woman is taking me from
That's
behind.
what she says. She's going to get
She's
you
gonna
from
get you from behind.
behind.
She's gonna kill you.
Oh.
She's the devil woman. It's not a sex song. What the hell? Glad the kids aren't. No, no. The heck? Just what did Travis say about the song? He said, "Nice to revisit old friends." That's what he said. So he just meant it's a nice old song.
Pilar's misunderstanding of the song, along with Pat's reaction to it, is simply hilarious. And number 5 is a clip from the Southern Fried Rock episode with Pat, Mike Schmidt, and Mike Siegel. At the beginning of the episode, Mike Schmidt talks about creating his own Spotify playlist after they recorded the Yacht Rock episode a few weeks prior. With that, Mike wanted to do this again. Here's the first part of this number 5 clip.
All right, well, let's kick it off. Now, Schmidt, you're a very special guest. Well, wait, you were a guest last time, then you're a special guest. Are you a very special guest next time, or is that now?
Well, the next time? Is there going to be a next time? That's what I hope.
Well, it
I can only hope the email is
depends
favorable.
Depends what the listeners say.
All I know is as a guest, they don't get to bring songs, so I just get to.
Isn't that better? You don't have to prepare. Like I feel like you have a lot that you're doing, and so to ask you to
I'm quite
prepare.
busy.
Well, you can plug your. Did you make a separate playlist?
Well, I did, yes, and I will do that again for this. I will tell you for the Yacht Rock one, but I'll wait until after the episode comes out. I made a playlist on Spotify called Ahoy Schmitty, and they come up with their 15 songs, and I came up with 15 songs different from theirs.
Yeah.
And I will do that again with this. So,
Well, I'm gonna bet you won't be able to do it with the show. I believe we pretty thoroughly cover it. You might be able to.
yeah, I mean, because it is. I will say it is rough with this because there are the big hammers.
Yeah, yes.
But then I Follow the Peacemakers by Molly Hatchet. So he's like, that would probably.
All right,
make
well, that
my
would be
list.
on your
You
list
know what
because I
mean?
know it's not on our list.
No.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
However, by the end of the episode, Pat had made a mistake.
Okay, look, let's do some promoting. Then Mike, we put the play out in his pocket.
I'm a little hanky.
A lot of
about
pressure.
It is.
A lot of pressure.
Send your email.
Oh, you're gonna kill me. As I was playing songs, I deleted them out of the playlist, so I can't take a picture of it for you.
Why? Why would he do it?
I didn't.
I literally asked him when I got here.
I forgot you have that. You can take that with you.
But that doesn't help. All right, here, I'm going to tell the listener because fuck this. I did the Yacht Rock thing, right? And I thought it was more fun for you, the listener, who we tried to sell the Patreon fucking bullshit to in the beginning of the goddamn show. I said, you know what? Maybe I make my own playlist once I've been on a show because I didn't get to bring any songs. So I actually made the Ahoy Schmitty playlist that's available now on Spotify. And when I got here, I said, do not destroy the playlists so I don't overlap with what your
And I
choices
said,
are.
okay, I
and he
won't.
said, yeah, no problem. He goes, but I just usually eliminate. I go, don't you think your Patreon people would like to see like the lists maybe after the fact? He's like, I got no room for that kind of thing. And now here we sit. I've got a very nice Mike Siegel, perfectly typed.
You're welcome.
There's a musical note on it, for fuck's sake. And then I've got to go off memory with the 9 ones that didn't qualify for
Well,
you.
please
and
remember-
Ghost Riders in the Sky.
Remember Nicole.
I'm not forgetting that. I'm downloading that the second I get out of here.
To have the episode open with Mike talking about his Spotify playlist and then bookend it with Pat accidentally deleting every song is perfect. And you have to keep in mind that none of this is planned. It all happens naturally. I thought it was hilarious when I first heard it. And number 4 is a clip from the America episode, a show in which Pat and Murray picked songs with America in the title. After playing a Lenny Kravitz song, Pat and Murray talk about the times when they saw Mr. Kravitz perform. Pat's story about his encounter with a concertgoer makes for this great moment.
I saw him at the Earth Day concert in Central Park. He played.
Oh, wow. That's cool.
I forgot who was the B-52s, the Cars, Lenny Kravitz. That's I can't remember. I have to look up and see who else played.
I saw him on my birthday. Actually, on my birthday, opened for Aerosmith at the Staples Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then I saw him most recently at the Palladium with Tom and Ryan Nuremberg.
Oh, Tom. I've been talking to Tom lately.
Yeah. That was the night. Have I told this story on? That was the night. What was my ailment? What did I do? There was.
You know you're getting old when you're
I'm trying to think of
remembering your ailments to help you remember.
Maybe I didn't, but Tom and Ryan and we were separated, so I was like by myself, and I moved closer. I was moving closer and closer to the stage, and I'm standing there, and this guy's next to me. He's not a big guy; he's the same height as me, but he's just staring at me, and I'm just like, and it always happens to me. Always, I don't know what the hell is going on. And he goes, "Hey, man." I'm like, oh, no. I go, I just ignore him. And he's like, hey, man. I go, hey. And he says, you're the ugliest motherfucker in here. Now, I mean, what do you do? I mean, first of all, so I'm like, well, this guy's insane. This guy's crazy. Not because I'm not the ugliest motherfucker in there. Maybe I am. But I mean, just who says that to just a stranger? And I was just like, so I'm like, what the fuck? What, you know what I mean? Like, what's the response to that? You either throw down, you know, you fucking punch the guy. And that's what I wish that's what would have happened. I wish I could just be confident enough that, if I punched him, he would fall on the ground and that would be it. And he'd be like, what the fuck happened? But I'm like, this guy must be on drugs or something. And I was just like, I just said, so I go, oh man, you hurt me. That's it made me feel sad, you know? And I just turn around, but he's fucking just still there. And he's like, no, man, I'm serious. I was like, what the heck? I'm like, serious about what? You're the ugliest motherfucker in here. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? We all have our things. You know, it's just like, I didn't know what to say. And then eventually I just kind of got away from him because I'm like, what the fuck? I just don't, it was why? Why does that happen?
Why? You attract that. You seem to attract that.
I know. I don't know what it is. Maybe I have a weird concert face that makes people angry.
And when I first heard this, I honestly thought that Pat was going to talk about the time that he saw Lenny Kravitz when Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden was in the audience. But no, he told this story instead. I laughed a lot when I first heard this, kind of similar to how Murray did in this clip. So yeah, great moment. The number 3 clip comes from a listener episode called When I Was 14, a topic suggested by listener and 2-time guest co-host Kevin Hartbarger. When Pat plays the intro from listener Raymond Broccoli, hilarity ensues.
So, folks, when I ask you to do these intros, I ask you to keep it, 90 seconds is optimal. And, 2 minutes, okay. Everyone's doing great today, by the way. Everyone's doing great. And this next guy, and we're going to talk about it. But this guy's intro clocks in at 2 minutes and 4 seconds. All right. Turn up the sound. And here we go.
This is Raymond Broccoli, and I'm pleased as punch to be participating in this celebration of rock and roll podcasting, which is the listeners' contributors. Oh, God. Don't worry. I'm all right. Thank you, Pat, for this opportunity.
Jesus fucking Christ.
And now, the rest of the story. The year was 1984. I was 14. My favorite song that year had come out 2 years prior, so we can't talk about that. Any favorite song from these years were all based on what I saw on MTV. And in 1984.
Okay, I don't know what's happening here, Raymond. Is this a bit? Are you doing a bit with the coughing and I just don't know what's going on here. It's aggravating. I can tell you that. It's annoying.
My top favorite songs, well, they're two indisputable for me, and close ones, close second, and hard to decide, actually. At the time, I recorded those with a tape recorder off of the TV. Runner-up, briefly, is Slade. It was their comeback, but this was my first time hearing of them, and I soon realized they also did the Quiet Riot songs, and of course I'm talking about Run, Run Away, and I bought special drumsticks, which were kind of like thick drumstick-like maracas.
By the way, he's not playing a Slade song. We still haven't gotten to the song he's playing. And we're 1 minute and 36 seconds into coughing and shenanigans.
So I can play that beat and also have a maraca sound at the same time. That's not even the song. The song I'm going to introduce is Word of Mouth. No, from the album Word of Mouth. I didn't get the album till got it on cassette tape a couple years later. And you know the song. Do It Again. Awesome video.
All right. Love Do It Again. Love the album Word of Mouth. Hated the intro. Raymond, I don't know what you're doing. Some people didn't get their intro on this week. But Raymond, he got his in on time. All right, look. Again, I don't know whether the coughing at the beginning was that a bit. I don't know what was going on here. But Raymond's intro was 2 minutes and 4 seconds. And through the magic of editing, I edited that down to 14 seconds. I took 1 minute and 50 seconds out of your intro. Let's hear if this is better. I say yes.
This is Raymond Broccoli, and I'm pleased as punch to be participating in this celebration of rock and roll podcasting. The year was 1984. I was 14. My favorite song that year, Do It Again.
All right, that was perfection. I don't need all the nonsense. Jesus. Moving on. Aggravated Pat now. This is aggravated Pat.
When I first heard this, I found myself annoyed just like Pat. But then again, I was also laughing. Hearing Pat hate on the intro and then taking the time to make an edit of his own, I think that's funny. All right, at number 2, we have a moment from the Eddie Van Halen tribute show in which Pat and Mike Schmidt remembered the late Eddie Van Halen, who died in October of this year. During the first few minutes of the show, Pat reads some negative iTunes reviews for Rock Solid. Mike tells Pat to not let this bother him, given that Mike went through a phase during his divorce. This all leads into something completely different.
You said the email guy was from a year ago.
No. It was just weeks ago.
Still weeks ago. Who cares? You should in a minute. You should have just fucking thrown it out and not even cared about it. Because like you said, what's that guy doing other than reaching out to you to tell you you're bad? Well,
I need to reach back with a smack in the head.
No, you don't. That's what I'm saying to you, man.
I have
It's
to.
like,
You've invaded my space.
dude, when I got a divorce, people wrote me saying it's about time. Team Karen. Finally. I mean, like, and
that is ridiculous.
It happened a bunch. And I was just like, you know what I mean? If a better man than
ridiculous.
me would have found them and killed them, but instead I was hiding eating ravioli sandwiches. I was so sad.
What's in a ravioli sandwich?
All right, what you do is you get rye bread. And
first of all, I'm out.
well, rye bread's delicious.
Oh, I hate it.
Well, then, all right, how about a 12 grain? A nice 12 grain.
What about sourdough?
Horrifying.
I know you hate it.
Sourdough is the
face
worst.
you made was the best.
It's the worst of all time. Sourdough is just, it's not a bread, it's a weapon.
I love it.
No, don't like it. There's a reason it's got a starter, then an activator, and it's like a bomb. Sourdough's like a bomb. Cut the red wire and the blue wire and make a shitty bread. It's fucking awful. So I'm telling you,
I'm going to put up a poll. It's going to be rye versus sourdough, and you're going down. You better get your people to get in on this poll.
I tweeted a tweet and I said, if you challenge me to a toast eating contest and choose rye, I will destroy you. If you choose wheat, you may have a chance, but I will still be the favorite. If you choose sourdough, I will choose not to participate and tell everyone you chose a rogue bread because you are afraid to face me. It's the truth. Sourdough is death.
Why do I love it so much? We always have it in the house.
No, terrifying. I am not a fan. Never have been. Don't like it. I hate when you go to a restaurant and the bread basket comes. You're like, oh, the glorious bread basket, sourdough. I want to fucking fight everybody. I want to
It's
John
the house
Wick.
specialty.
That's like you killed my dog. You John Wicked me with the bread. Literally, I just want to stand up and kill everybody in the goddamn restaurant. It's just awful.
Speaking of killing everyone, we just did our Monday movie night a little bit ago.
Before you do your segue,
What?
you're going to cut out. These people are on the edge of their seat wondering about a ravioli sandwich.
Oh, I forgot about that.
12 grain. You like a 12 grain? You like a sourdough? Fine. We'll go with your sourdough. You make a sourdough bread. You toast
How
it.
about just an Italian bread for a ravioli sandwich?
Too crusty.
You don't like a crusty?
No, because the point is soft. You'll see when I tell you how to make it.
What about it put on a bun?
No, too crusty. Listen to me. Get a sauce, because that's why sourdough's also got the chew to it. You don't want to chew. You want the sandwich and you want the bread and the ravioli to become one.
All right.
So we'll get a wheat. You like a wheat?
Could we do it in a bread bowl?
God damn it! What is wrong with you? Why are you trying to mess with perfection?
Hamburger bun?
Listen to me. You go ahead and you take whatever wheat, 12 grain, whatever you like.
All right,
and
wheat. I'll go with wheat.
All right, we toast it, and you take it out, and you put basically a half a stick of butter on these two pieces of bread.
Spread it.
Yes, spread it like you're making toast.
All right,
but I mean, so you can wring out the bread. I mean, it's fucking soaked.
It sounds healthy.
And you've made ravioli before this. Clearly, don't make the toast and then cook the ravioli because then you're
I'm screwed.
Yeah, you're ruined. So make the ravioli. It's steaming in the colander. You make the bread. And you put the butter on it like literally a half stick. It's just dripping with butter. And then you put like 5 pieces of ravioli on it and you close it up and that's a goddamn.
Is there sauce on the ravioli?
No, plain cheese ravioli.
No.
Yes.
No. I want some sauce on it like a meatball sandwich.
No, it's buttery and terrific. It becomes one amalgam of genius. I would call it garbage. That's my diet since
I
quarantine.
100% thought there was going to be sauce on this.
No, noodles and bread and butter and cheese. What else do you want? It's delicious.
Okay. Are we grilling this then like a grilled cheese sandwich? Because you have the butter on both sides. You can make it.
No, because the bread has got the butter and it's soaked it up like a sponge. And then it soaks into the ravioli and you're biting it. And then the cheesy goodness in the middle of the noodles.
But the butter's touching the ravioli. It's not on the outside of the bread.
No, you're squishing it. It makes a sandwich. It's like if you made a peanut butter and jelly sandwich with the peanut butter and jelly on the inside.
Right.
Okay, it's just butter on both sides on the bread on the inside, and then you put the 5 raviolis, 6 raviolis, bang, you make a sandwich.
I'm afraid to try this. Is it cheese ravioli or beef?
Cheese.
I'm afraid to try it because I'm afraid that it'll be so delicious that I will not be able to eat anything else.
Yes, I wish you could pretend this was wrong, but I'm telling you, it is delicious.
Can you have a side of marinara and you dip the corner into it?
If you're a heathen, yes.
What beverage pairs with that?
Whatever you got.
Grape juice?
Penicillin. Do whatever you want to do with it. Make it your. And here's the thing: make it your own. I'm no chef who guards his recipe. Do whatever you'd like to whore it up. Whatever you need to do for your lunch. But I like rye bread soaked to the gills with butter and ravioli on it.
Let's get it trending. Hashtag ravioli sandwich.
I won't.
Chef Schmitty.
I will not be satisfied until a listener dies.
Chef Schmitty. And chef is spelled with an SCH.
Oh, there you go.
What do you think of that?
I enjoy it.
Chef
Schmitty.
Now, when I first heard this, I couldn't stop laughing. And afterwards, I made one of my picture translation videos of this while listener Matt Berkey actually made the sandwich that Mike was describing. It's funny how things can escalate. And at number 1, we have a clip from the Steely Dan episode where Pat was joined by Kyle, Murray, and Steve-O Dockerson via Zoom. In the middle portion of the episode, Steve-O talks about how he likes giving trophies as gifts. What happens afterwards leads to our number 1 clip.
Oh, is that the trophy?
Yeah, it's a skeleton up there.
Okay, that's cool.
And then it's a coolest skeleton award.
Kyle Dotson, Rock Solid Podcast, coolest skeleton award. All right, and that was your wedding gift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, not much there for the wife, but I guess she gets to look at it.
She likes the skeleton.
Yeah. Okay.
Not much there for the husband either. What the fuck kind of gift is that?
Steve-O sent me a trophy once too. Let me get it.
Steve-O sent me 9 Hob Patrol albums.
I actually can't get it because it's hiding behind these soundboards and I have to take them down.
This is why I decided to start doing this.
You know, the last time you walked away, we lost you for 5 minutes.
That's why I'm holding this.
Let him go.
Let him go. Let him go.
Piece of shit. My one, goddamn.
Steve-O, you know I love you, man.
I don't care.
More laughing right now than on the entire Rusty Cow album.
So here's one of the problems in choosing a clip like this. There's a visual aspect to this. Now, I've seen the Zoom video on Patreon, and during this time in the podcast, Steve-O was holding his laptop so he wouldn't have to leave everybody. I think Murray's comment was suggesting that Steve-O should drop his laptop, and therefore he would be letting Pat go. And you wouldn't think of it being a comment that gets that kind of reaction, but it did. Now, there was some discussion about this moment later on, so much so that a listener emailed me asking if they could have that one clip. Another reason why I'm deciding to pick this as the number 1 clip is because I look at the first 2 countdown winners. In 2018, the top clip was Pat talking about David Lee Roth's favorite color. And in 2019, it was Pat and Kyle talking about Janice's puppet hole. Now, if I had made one in 2017, I would have picked Pat impersonating Paul Stanley in the Genesis episode, talking about how Sussudio tugged her ear. I don't know if anybody remembers that one. That was probably the hardest I ever laughed during a Rock Solid episode. So for this year, I went for something that wasn't sex-related. So this year, the number 1 clip isn't something sex-related. So there you have it, the top 10 funniest Rock Solid moments from 2020. I'm Aaron Kahn, and I look forward to doing this again in 2021. Thank you for listening.